I just had a friend at the time and she was telling me, well, really, like, if you're looking for something in life, just really ask yourself what it is and, like try to find the answer and within you. And it was interesting because she was telling me to find the answer within me. And I always expected an answer to come from the outside world.
I remember the very first week I got the topic and read the lecture, the whole introduction on it. And I was just amazed at how simple the author put everything. He just explained things, in this very simple way that no other author I've ever read before that was able to. And I remember the sense within me that, upon reading these things, I felt like I'd found what I was looking for.
I was living the life that I'd always thought would bring me great satisfaction and fulfillment, and I had all the things that I expected would bring that, and there was still something missing. And they listened to me and they actually directed me towards the self-discovery course. And at that time, I really didn't think that, a 9-week course was going to bring about any drastic improvement in my circumstances, but I thought I'd give it a go, and considering it was free, I had nothing to lose. And I did the course, and I remember learning all these different things about how I operated and why, I saw things the way that I did.
My intuition said, you have to go. And it wasn't practical. I had work, for one thing, 2 jobs that I was juggling in the evening times. One was my job and one was my business. And for me to take a course in the evening was completely unreasonable. But my intuition was so strong that I knew I had to do it. And so I cleared my schedule for 9 weeks to come to the Monday night class, which was the power of Gnostic meditation.
What drew me to it basically was that I just kept waking up paralyzed in the middle of the night, and I didn't have a clue what was going on. I was terrified of it, to be honest. But for many nights in a row, for weeks, I just kept waking up in the middle of the night, unable to move, paralyzed, and I'd feel this fear because I didn't know what was going on.
I started having these experiences of sleep paralysis, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I wouldn't be able to move. I'd be completely awake, yet I'd be completely paralyzed. And sometimes these would be accompanied by really scary images. I'd feel evil presences, and it scared me a lot. And this started happening a couple of times a week, and it went on for some time, a few years actually. I sort of got used to it, but after a couple of years I started to look for some sort of an answer.
And one thing I learned through reading about it is that paralysis is a natural part that happens when we sleep. But more than that, it's what happens when we're actually about to leave our physical body behind and go into the astral plane, which, is where we go when we dream. And I thought, well, that's something I didn't expect. So suddenly my problem became something kind of interesting.
And I've always been interested in dreams since a very young age, because I've had really long dreams and lucid dreaming or flying in my dreams, or things that I couldn't understand, like I had met my deceased great-grandmother and talked with her, and many different things that I couldn't understand why, but it felt like dreams were very important to me. And so I really decided, well, I'm going to give it a go and try the practices.
So I took up the astral travel course, and I suppose what really drew me towards it was the idea of directly experiencing something for myself beyond the physical, so that I didn't have to rely on what somebody else told me or something that was written in a text.
And then started reading some of the books, and it just sort of made sense. Like a lot of things that in other books I'd read, and it didn't really go in depth, or like it would say something but not really explain it. But these books were very clear and didn't skirt around any issues or leave anything out.
And during the course, sure enough, I managed to astral project and have several conscious astral experiences. And I was just, I was amazed. I just thought, oh, this is great. And it turned my nights into something magical.
Sure enough, I ended up finding Mystic Web, it was Mystic Web at the time, and they offered free astral travel courses. I took the astral travel course, and it definitely, I understood a lot more about sleep paralysis. I was able to have more experience. And from that, I took the subsequent courses, which were more about finding inner peace and improving our lives in that way.
And I really, really tried. Like every night and every day, I was so motivated to find out what was going on. And I was amazed when I found out that yes, it was possible, and I actually did make it out. And since then, I signed up for the other courses. I never was interested in self-discovery or anything like that. But because of that experience that course gave me, it opened up, you know, this whole other side of life to explore, and also, you know, to explore myself more.
I especially enjoyed the self-discovery course, in which, you know, it talked about how to be aware and how to study yourself and your life and learn to wake up and see what's actually happening in life. And that's when I started to really, you know, dig in and finally get some real answers to those questions I always had about, you know, what was wrong with me, what was wrong with the world.
So I went along and did the course, and I did more courses, and I just realised the more I got into it that there was definitely something in it, and I just had to keep going with it.
I was really glad when I found Gnosis, because I found all this community of people that are interested in same things. So finally I had, you know, friends that I could relate to, that I could talk to them about things that I always was interested in. And I have never had friends that I could talk, you know, so openly about these things and about what I'm searching for.
And not only was I finding the answers to astral travel and learning new things, but I just had this feeling that this is what I was searching for. This is what was missing in my life.
And it actually had an effect on the way that I not only perceived myself, but my circumstances and the world. And I was really quite surprised about this. It just happened so quietly.
I tried a number of things over the years, basically, I suppose, to improve my physical life, but not realising that I was actually searching for something. Because ever since I started meditating when I was about 18, which I learnt to help me read music, and I did these other things to help me to become a better musician. And I always said that I wasn't searching for God, I was just trying to become a better guitar player. And yeah, and I found that, yeah, I didn't realise I was looking for it, but sort of found what I was looking for.
And suddenly, as I found this community of Gnostic people on the internet, I had all these international friends all around that we could relate, and we could share experiences that they understood, you know, when I talked about my astral experiences, how I, you know, entered the astral plane, or how I start to see my defects within and how I try to change. So it was really nice to be a part of all this community.